But what would you recommend in demand generation in the early days? And would you recommend to only hire SDRs at first or go very aggressive on marketing? Because earlier today, the CRO of Rippling spoke and they said that they had 150 SDRs. And
it's badass. And they took the model, Parker and Sam built that model at Zenefits, and then they reproduced it at Rippling. Massive outbound model.
Yes, but I was wondering, I suppose that in the early days, they didn't have 150 SDRs. So it was impossible.
Look, you're asking a good question. Just two things. Do whatever you know how to do and do anything that works at all. If you've never done outbound and you're scared to send an email or pick up the phone and you've tried a couple times and you're freaked out and no one reads it or answers it, your emails are terrible, let's move over to marketing. Okay? If you're pretty good at it yourself, like you're pretty tenacious and you're getting pretty good open rates on emails and you're closing deals, then go hire a couple SDRs and professionalize it, right? Most founders that are engineers or product focused, they get consultative sales. They don't get how to deal with outbound or SDRs, okay? So a lot of folks from a product or engineering background, not all, but most of them are not great at this raw outbound motion. Others are. I was a pre-revenue investor in Greenhouse, which sold for $800 million. And the CEO, for whatever reason, in the early days, maybe loved is the wrong word, but he enjoyed managing. He managed 12 SDRs himself before he hired a sales leader. I'm like, I would have pulled out my hair. Like I had 1 week where I had to manage our sales team between my two VPs of sales, and I almost died for 1 week managing our sales team. Okay. It wasn't me, but Daniel from Greenhouse, you can look him up. They're coming up on 250 million revenue. He didn't mind as a non-sales founder managing 12 SDRs who need to talk 8 times a day. And I would have burned out in minutes managing these folks. So he was good at that. So Greenhouse got to 10 million through outbound, right? I was personally pretty darn good at hustle marketing, getting us in media, getting other folks to promote us, getting WebEx and Salesforce and Zoho and 1 million people to promote us. So I did more of that. I went early on our API. I went early on our partner systems, early on that I was good at, but I didn't know how to do outbound. We didn't do outbound until Sam Blond, who was CRO Brex. He was our first SDR. That was the first time we ever did outbound. And that probably was around 2 million in revenue. We didn't have an SDR person.
Whoa.
But I'd done enterprise out. Like I closed $1 million deals before. I had no idea how to close a $3K deal in software.